There are so many different varieties of sweet potatoes, but to simplify it, let's just break it down into 4 categories. Orange skin, red skin, white skin, purple skin. The orange skin, which includes varieties such as the Jules, Covington, and Beauregard's, when cooked, these sweet potatoes are very moist and also very meaty. The red skin sweet potatoes also has an orange flesh. It includes varieties such as the Garnet, Diane, and Vermilion. When cooked, they are very sweet and moist. The white skin sweet potato is more like an Irish potato. The flesh is anywhere from white to pale yellow gold, and the varieties include O. Henry's, Hannah's, and Jersey's. And when you cook these sweet potatoes, they're more dry versus moist, and they're just mildly sweet. Now that brings us to the purple skin sweet potato, and this would be the sweet potato that I'm going to particularly feature in this video. The purple skin sweet potato, there are different Oriental names for this sweet potato, but one of the names is Murasaki. Now Murasaki simply means purple in the Japanese language. This sweet potato, the flesh of it is anywhere from white to pale yellow, and when you bake this sweet potato, it takes on just a mildly sweet flavor, and it's more dry versus moist. The Murasaki sweet potato. Fortunately, we don't have to go to Japan to find Murasaki sweet potatoes. Despite being known as a Japanese sweet potato, these tubers were actually developed in the United States at the University of Louisiana, where there is a sweet potato research station located. 2 different varieties were cross-pollinated, and that was back in 2001. This variety was patented in 2007, and the seeds were first sold commercially in 2008. If you have never grown sweet potatoes and you're thinking about doing it, it is a very easy, fun crop to grow and very manageable. You just got to make sure how many growing days you have in your season and pick out a variety that will match how many days you have to grow your crop. Depending on the variety, it could take anywhere from 90 to 120 days from time you plant your slips into the ground to the time of harvest. I am going to be actually planting my Murasaki sweet potato slips today. They have rooted enough and they are ready to go into the soil. So in harvesting the sweet potato vines, we just need to cut it where there's plenty of nodes, because everywhere there's a node, that is where the roots are going to grow from. And so I would want maybe 3 or 4 nodes per stem, and then just cut it like that. I have got just about all of them harvested now, and I'm going to leave just a few here so they can continue to grow. And just once again, just pick off all the lower leaves and leaving just a couple here at the top for photosynthesis so it can continue to grow and sprout. So I have a jar full now, and I'm gonna let these sprout. They should be sprouted within a couple weeks, and then they'll be ready to plant. Here are my Murasaki sweet potatoes that I'm growing into slips that I had cut from over here from this bucket of vines. And I cut these about a week ago, and as you can see, they have really took off and sprouted. These are definitely ready to go into the ground. They have formed nice roots on where the nodes are at, so these are ready to be planted. So most of the time it's recommended for you to do your transplanting when it's really hot, late in the evening, so it has through the night hours to somewhat get acclimated to their new surrounding area. However, I'm in Central Florida. This is May the 2nd. It has already got scorching hot here in my area, and it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's very hot already. I have a large umbrella positioned over me. I have shade cloth that I'm going to cover these with once I get them transplanted. If I did not have that, I would have to wait into the evening hours to transplant these sweet potatoes, because any time that we can reduce stress from a plant is only going to help it to survive better. Since sweet potatoes is definitely a root crop, we have to be very careful to make sure we do not over fertilize our sweet potatoes with nitrogen, because we do not want a lot of leaf growth and very little small tuber growth. So how I'm planting mine, your sweet potatoes do need to be deep, 12 to 18 inches deep, to have room for them to grow. I have been preparing these 55-gallon barrels that have been cut off. I have been preparing them for several weeks now, watering them, making sure everything's nice and ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some fertilizer in here. Now, depending on what you have, and I'm a firm believer in trying to work with what you have, use up what you got first to cut down the cost in growing food, because we want growing food to be economical, and we want to get to the place where it costs us little to no money in growing food. So on the NPK, we're going to be very careful with the nitrogen. However, I do have a product that I already had on hand that's very low in nitrogen, and I will show you the NPK on this. On this in here is 0.5 for the nitrogen, 6 for the phosphorus, and 18 for the potassium or the potash. This right here is by Root Organics, and this is what it's called. So what I can do here is sprinkle a little bit of this product in the soil. Also, bone meal is very good to put with your sweet potatoes, because this is the phosphorus and it's going to really help with the root growth. And I can put a little bit of this with it. Now these organic products, they break down as the microbiology in the soil begins to work with it, so it does not break down right away. And now before I even put my sweet potato slips in this pot, I'm going to moisten it down with some water. Just being out here in the sun, I can tell these slips are already starting to droop a little bit, but I'm going to get the shade cloth up just as soon as I get these planted. So we want to plant our slips about at least a foot apart. A little bit further than that would be fine. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to only plant these as far as the root comes up. And it's just so simple. Just dig your hole ever how deep that is and just put it into the ground, cover it back up. Also, mulching these with some kind of mulch, whether it be pine needles or some other kind of mulch, also will help take off some of the heat from the soil as well. So once again, these are the Murasaki sweet potato slips. And they're definitely a variety of sweet potato that I would recommend at least trying one time to see if you and your family will like this different variety. Give it a little bit more water, and this one here is ready to start growing. All of the Murasaki sweet potatoes are planted now, and we'll just watch them grow. Thank you so much for stopping by and being with me today on this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe and leave a comment if you would, and also give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.